All right, now once again, okay, we're good to go now. So the IonShield is a self-precaution and protection device from Prive International. All right. So just to start you off, it is coming from a company named MLS or Mullington, one of the top companies in the world as far as health products are concerned. So it's coming from there. Now, why the importance? Now, why suddenly people are looking for it again? So it was there in Pride for some time. And, most people who know about this device, you will see them wearing it almost the whole day, especially when they're out in the crowds, when they're going for meetings and all that. So what is the importance of wearing it, right? So the first thing is, I'm sure you remember COVID-19. It started from there. And then from COVID-19, we had lots of people who suffered, who were vaccinated. And then the long-term effects of COVID-19, among them is breathing problems, all right? Breathing problems, and then some of the tissues, some of the organs affected. So many people were affected. And then after that, you had something called long COVID, right? It was affecting lots of organs, okay? So it's different for different people. And many, it is to do with the lungs, especially with breathing, right? So it has affected as to how much air is coming in, how much oxygen is coming into your system, okay? So just to go a little bit further, long-term effects of COVID-19. There are so many people who are still suffering from the effects of the long COVID, right? And the post-COVID complications are also still there. People are still having the body pain, joint pain, headache. I remember one famous athlete, sports person in Malaysia. He was one of the top footballers in Malaysia. He used to play for Malaysia. And once he retired, he took up cycling. And in one of his cycling, when morning exercise, he just collapsed and died. And then it was found that it was partly because of COVID-19, the effects of COVID-19, right? So high blood sugar, fever, feeling of tiredness, loss of taste or smell, shortness of breath, coughing, chest pain, you can't focus, rapid or fast heartbeat, palpitations, and there are so many things which they are going through because of this problem, right? And people have just learned to live with the COVID-19, and it has become the new normal. But then at the same time, you have to also have some precautions and take steps so that it doesn't affect you too much, right? So, and now where people are learning to live with influenza A. Presently, influenza A is in our midst. So if you look at it, this is how it went from COVID-19, then to beta, then to delta, then to Omicron, and now influenza A, right? So people are still one after another having some kind of virus influencing or attacking you, and it's good that you take steps to overcome them, right? So what next after influenza A? All right. So we need to have precautions, all right? We need to have precautions. And the present precaution that people are using is, of course, keeping personal distance. But how much personal distance can you keep when you're in a crowd or when you're attending a meeting, all right? And people are slowly forgetting to wear the mask, okay? They're wearing mask, but then they're now forgetting to wear the mask. And talking about mask, it is more important for the person who is sick to wear the mask compared to people who are normal. All right. So here, of course, the normal people are wearing masks as a precaution. But for the people, if you have a fever, if you have a flu, if you're having some kind of problem, please do wear masks so that you avoid passing it on. All right. Then you have face shields. And what other precautions can we take to protect ourselves and our family? There's only so much which we can do. Now, just to share with you, sometimes people take it a little bit too far. I've seen people wearing masks, but they're sitting alone in a car. They're driving alone and they're wearing a mask. So I think sometimes we have to also consider where we wear the mask, right? Now, the main idea is to avoid contact with other people, not when you're alone, right? Okay, then are you ready and are you prepared to live in the new norm where you are having some kind of virus among you, right? So you have to take some kind of precaution. So let's hear about how negative ions help people.
Directing the experiment was the International Authority in Virus Research, Dr. John Oxford.
And we're using a more powerful ionizer. This emits 50,000 ions per centimetre cubed.
The experiment is carried out using a 1 meter cubed box. Virus solution is sprayed from the top surface of the box. Within the box, an ion generator is producing plasma cluster ions. When two ions stick to the surface of a virus, they transform into a highly oxidizing OH radical and draw out the hydrogen from the protein of the spike-shaped virus. Which hydrogen has been taken is degraded and the OH radical returns to water. This sequence is performed in an instant, completely removing the virus.
This sort of technology, I think, will give us some reassurance that we'd have a piece of kit, as it were, that could be used not only against viruses we know about, but viruses that could appear in the future.
So as we have seen here, it's not only the viruses which appear now or are in the midst of us, but those viruses which will appear in the future. We just do not know. And one of the most important precaution we can take is negative ions, all right? Because they work very well on the viruses. All right. So another thing that we have heard him mention here is that for it to be useful for health, useful as a health device, you must have at least 50,000 pieces of parts of these negative ions per cubic meter. All right. So that's a minimum. And if anything which is less, then it is going to help in a certain way. But then for health purposes, go for a minimum of 50,000. All right. So here we come to the IonShield, the ionizer pendant. So you can't be taking big boxes with you. You can't be taking big machines along with you. So what you can do is you are taking the IonShield pendant and placing it on your chest. And it works the same way as the boxes or the devices do. So if you can see here, right, which is here also, okay, in different colors. So these are the IonShield pendants. Now, what do they do? Okay, first of all, if you see them, they provide cleaner air and better protection from contaminants and particulate matter. All right. So this is one of the main things which they do. The air becomes cleaner. All right. Now, besides that, all right, you have a stylish design. What happens is every time when I wear this and I go out, people are asking me, what is it that you have on your chest there? And, even the police and security is afraid. When they talk to you politely, thinking that you have some kind of camera there. So normally I tell them I have a camera here. It's also protecting me. So become very, very polite to me. So, and then after that, when we are friendlier, then I tell them about the device and what it is doing to me. So that builds an interest among them and they want to know more. All right. And you have more friends after that. So it uses magnetic charging. And also now you can use the type C to charge. The present ones are using the type C charger, right? And it gives you 60 million negative oxygen ions. All right, 60 million. Now, I mentioned just now that if you have a minimum of 50,000, it's already helping you with health. Imagine getting 60 million. That is way much more than 50,000, right? And then for almost the whole day, you can use them with just about an hour to an hour and a half of charging. All right. And you can practically use it from morning till night. It's protecting you the whole day and going with you wherever you're going. Okay. And the quality is assured. They give you a very long, what do you call it, lifespan, about 10 years. That's really good for the amount of money you're paying for. I don't think any other device does that, protecting you for the 10 years without giving you any problems. All you have to do is just charge it for about an hour and a half, and gives you the protection. Okay. And then you also, we want you to know that the device has got this chain, the chain here, as you can see here, hanging here, this chain. So what this chain does is it removes the static energy from the device. So you don't have to worry about static electricity. So please do not remove this chain and replace it. Now, just today, this morning, I think, or yesterday, last night, a person from the Philippines contacted me and told me that upon charging, the chain got burnt. So I was asking her more questions, and what we found out was it was not the device, it was the what do you call it, the power supply which she used was probably of inferior quality, and it got burnt. And after getting burnt, the chain was also a little bit burnt, but it is made of metal, so it cannot get burnt easily. It's just that the color gets distorted. But when she switched on the device was still functioning. All right. So if you're charging it, please use good quality chargers, because you're paying a decent bit of money for this device, and you do not want anything to happen to it. Now, if you look at it again, at the top of it, this is the emitter, right? This is where the negative ions are coming out, and this is where you see the light. Now, when you see the white light, it means that it is working for you. When you see the red light, then it is the battery is low. Like Ultraman, he has to go up and charge and come back. So you just remove it, charge for another hour or so, and then it's working again. And then this is the switch at the bottom, where when you hold it for a while, the light comes on. Again, you hold it a while, the light goes off. You can switch it off. All right. So this chain here, if possible, do not replace, because it is helping you to remove static electricity. Not that it's going to harm you, but still, it is making sure that you do not get any static charges. Okay. So, and this is a special chain made for this device. Right. Now it uses high-end technology. As I said, it's coming from the company Mulingshan, MLS, and it's small and light. You hardly feel it on your chest. After some time, you forget that it is there. It has a long battery life the whole day. It provides healthy negative oxygen ions anytime, anywhere. It regulates the body's ion balance, and then it neutralizes free radicals, right? Lots of people take antioxidants as supplements. Now, this is helping you in that way, give you the ORAC value, all right? So it neutralizes the free radicals. And with continuous mild aerobic exercise, and with this negative ion, you will see that your health also improves by leaps and bounds. Now, it also improved the body function system, which we shall see later, and it purifies secondhand smoke. Imagine sitting somewhere, you find a cozy spot to have a drink. Suddenly, somebody is sitting beside you and smoking, and the smoke is coming your way, and you find yourself so helpless. Now, this device actually removes that smoke, all right? And what do you call it? It also removes formaldehyde and bad odor as well. Okay, and it's antibacterial disinfection and sedimentation and dust. Now, what it does is it removes the dust and then the so many things in the air, which we shall also see in a while later. All right. Now, if you look at the tests done, so there are all, the detection center of microbiology in Guangdong. Now it shows you that it has got 60 million negative ions, all right, per cubic centimeter, all right, per cubic centimeter. Now what they do is they measure about 3 centimeters away from the emitter. Now what some devices will do is they will measure it, some will measure it at 5 centimeters, and then they would not tell you that quickly it deteriorates, it goes down, all right? So when you sit in a room with an emitter, it may not even reach you. But here it is on your chest and is designed to work about 30 to 50 centimeters away, which means that from your chest right up to your mouth, nose, even eyes is working for you. The only issue will be probably strong winds blowing in front of you. All right. The other thing is 60 million parts per cubic centimeter negative ion concentration measured 3 centimeters from the negative ion emitter. All right. And the effective strength is up to 30 to 50 centimeters depending on wind conditions and is blown up towards the nose area. So from the chest is blowing up. All right. And the full charge lasts almost the whole day. And it uses EMP or electromagnetic pulse technology, right? And the metal chain disperses static buildup and it's lightweight and expected to last up to 10 years. Of course, you do not put it in the water, then it's not going to last 10 years. And then it's portable. It's designed to be with you, going everywhere that you go. Imagine your children are going to school, going to college, you're meeting all kinds of people. And then if you notice, the people or the children who are most easily getting fevers and all that are those who are in the kindies or kindergartens, all right? So, their system is not advanced, not matured. So what happens is if their body is not strong, the immune system is not strong, so even a little bit of virus in the air, they'll pick it up and they'll become sick. They'll come back sick. And you're wondering what happened to them and where they picked it up from. So with this device, it is going to protect them. It is giving them a chance, right, to avoid getting sick. So many parents, they find that it is helping them and they're putting one on their children and keeping them safe from picking up viruses, especially in the kindergartens and day schools and primary schools. All right. So share with your loved ones. If really you find that they need help, share it with them. Now, it just doesn't mean the children, even the elderly, as they're growing older, you find that the immune system may have been is lesser than before. So, and then they need to attend functions, attend weddings, attend dinners. So put one on them and it's going to help them as well, right? Okay, so it's definitely going to help. And another study done shows that it kills up to 99.99% of the coronavirus. Now, this was done much earlier during the peak of the COVID-19. So many people were using this during that time. But the best part is the negative ions are also helping with the viruses which are yet to appear. They're going to be helping you, right? So keep wearing them. And let's see about what are the effects it has on the human body. And these are extracts from testimonials. People, after having used them, this is what they have mentioned. So let's look at what they have mentioned. First is they're telling that I feel more relaxed compared to before. Now, these negative ions actually work inside of you to calm you, right? It brings calm to yourself. And then they also find that it's easy for them to fall asleep, okay? And they're also finding that it improves bladder condition and lesser toilet frequency, okay? When they use this, they find that they're going less. And they also find, again, more calmness. And their skin condition has also improved. The negative ions are helping with that as well. And they get less irritated. If you find that family members get irritated fast and then foul words are used and so it creates problems, please put one on them, because then you will find that they get less irritated and you have less problems in the house. All right. And these are the reported health benefits of negative ions. First of all, they neutralize the free radicals. They definitely do that. The negative ions, they do not allow the what do you call it, the tissues, the cells, to lose the electrons and become free radicals. All right. So people who have been using lots of supplements, especially the antioxidants, now using this may save you some money. All right. Now the next thing is they revitalize and enhance cell metabolism. It is helping with the cell metabolism as well. They enhance the immune function. Is definitely helping in that way, where people are not getting sick easily. Is helping to avoid getting contaminated with viruses. They also purify the blood, and they help with pH balancing. And also they help in overcoming insomnia. People having problems sleeping, they find that they can sleep now. And they balance the autonomic nervous system. Okay? And they help in promoting deep sleep and healthy digestion. Okay? So that's a lot. And then the important benefits of negative ion, the most important ones. Let's look at some of the more important ones. First of all, they clear the air of airborne allergens such as pollen. Especially in Western countries, we have the 4 seasons. You have, you go into spring, and then all the flowers are coming out, and the pollens are flying all over. So people are finding that it's helping to clear the air of airborne allergens, especially the air which you breathe. And then the mold spores, right? So especially in countries having 4 seasons. And then it's also helping with the bacteria and viruses. It's helping with dust. It's helping with pet allergy. Some people have pet allergy. Although they love pets, they don't realize they have allergy. And it's definitely helping with cigarette smoke. And the negative ions perform this function by attaching themselves to positively charged particles in large numbers and negatively charging those particles. Now what happens is you have positively charged particles. Now these negative ions, they go and engulf them with lots of electrons, negative ions or anions, and they discharge them. And also what they do is they make them heavy. So as a result, these viruses, bacteria, and pollen spores become too heavy to remain airborne and are thus prevented from entering your breathing passage, where they can make you fall sick. So what happens is that layer there where they are touching, they become heavy and they fall. And you'll find that if you sit long enough in a room, you find that that room becomes a little bit more dusty compared to the other rooms, because these negative ions are now attaching themselves to the dust, the smoke, and whatever comes, and they're falling, and you'll be wondering why is it that this room is dustier than the rest of the rooms. All right, so this is what's happening. And in other words, negative ions form a protective circle around you. All right, now the next thing, if you look at it, now this is how it is working. It uses the built-in carbon brush system to release the negative ions into the air. The emitted negative ions attach to the air molecules and dirty particles in the air and give negative electrons. And these negative electrons repel each other and move away from the breathing range. It protects the healthy air so that it is attracted to positive electrons, and large particles sink to the ground due to gravity and do not enter the lungs. So what it does is it's going into your mouth as well. It's also going through your nose, and it's also providing you a protective layer. So once particles come into this range, so the negative ions start working. All right. So the next thing is, let's look at another person who has got something to say about the negative ions.
There are 3 facts you need to know about negative ions. There are 3 facts you need to know about negative ions. Another Nerd Minute. Fact 1. The Earth is negatively charged thanks to negative ions. It's no coincidence that we need a negative charge at the cellular level to promote hydration and better functioning mitochondria and to be generally more healthy. Fact 2, all electrolytes have either a positive or a negative charge. Electrolytes with a negative charge, thanks to negative ions, are more difficult to come by. However, their charge is essential to your health. Fact 3, negative ions can be found in specific locations such as the beach, in a forest, or near a waterfall. A great way to get them is to remove your shoes and physically connect to the ground. Negative ions will flow through your feet and into your body.
So as we can see, the places where you can find these negative ions, how many people are actually going to the beaches, they're going to the waterfalls, or they're going to the deep jungles. So the other way you can go about to get those negative ions inside of you is by using the IonShield pendant, right? So it gets these negative ions into you, whether it's through the mouth, through your nose, or through your skin, right? And as we can see here, negative ions are essential for health, right? So even if you don't, like just now I was mentioning about this driver who was wearing this mask while he was alone in the car. Now the mask is not going to do much for you. In fact, it is going to also cut down on the amount of oxygen which is coming into you, lessening the amount of oxygen. Now imagine the same scenario where you are wearing this IonShield pendant and is providing you with these negative ions and is definitely essential for you and is working for you and is constantly giving you negative ions. So imagine how the person is going to be much healthier just by wearing the negative ions, right? So if you're still wearing a mask, it's time for you to slowly change to this IonShield. Okay, now we have seen this. Now let's look a little bit deeper. What happens when you use the IonShield pendant? First of all, negative ions, also known as anions, interact with the human body primarily through inhalation via the nose and the mouth, entering the respiratory system and eventually reaching the bloodstream. They also go through the skin, right? But the most important is they reach your blood. They reach your bloodstream, all right? Okay, so now, first of all, the inhalation and entry path, okay? When you breathe in air rich in negative ions, they take the following path. First, the gateway, they enter primarily through the nose and mouth during normal respiration. Secondly, nasal interaction. In the nose, negative ions can stimulate the formation of epithelial cells in the nasal mucosa, which stops all the dirt and whatever is coming in. And then in the lower airways, they travel through the trachea and into the lungs. And in the bronchus, they have been shown to accelerate the movement of mucosal cilia, which are hair-like structures that clear mucus and pollutants. So they are still working each step of the way. They're helping in some way. And lastly, alveolar absorption. They reach the alveoli, air sacs, which are in the lungs, where they facilitate the penetration of oxygen into the lungs. Studies indicate that 30 minutes of high-dose inhalation can increase oxygen absorption by up to 20%. Now, what that means is if you're wearing it for at least 30 minutes, you're going to have at least 20% more oxygen. So if you're wearing it the whole day, imagine what it is going to do for you. All right? So if you have one, it is lying in the cupboard on the tabletop. It's about time that you start hanging it on your chest and switch it on. All right, now let's look at this. This is a nasal cavity. This is where the mouth is. And this is how the air goes in and into the lungs. So when you start using the IonShield pendant, these are the electrons, the negative ions, which are being blown up, all right? They keep being blown up And what they do is they start going in through your nose, through your mouth, into your trachea, and then into your lungs. And once they're in their lungs, they start going into your bloodstream. All right. So this is how they work. So I think you should start wearing them. All right. And then the second part is the bloodstream and biochemical effects in the body once they reach the bloodstream. What happens? Once negative ions are inhaled through the nose and mouth, they cross the thin membranes of the alveoli air sacs in the lungs and enter the pulmonary capillaries. The negative ions enter the bloodstream and trigger several systemic changes. And the effects on the blood include, what do once they're in the blood? We have always been talking about outside, it's stopping pollutants, it's stopping dust, it's stopping so many kinds of things. But today we are looking at what's happening inside the body, right? So serotonin regulation. The most widely cited effect is the regulation of serotonin levels in the brain and blood. By helping to balance this mood chemical, negative ions may alleviate stress, reduce symptoms of seasonal depression, and boost alertness. Imagine people who are in business, people are constantly going for meetings, meeting all kinds of people, all right? The stress level you're undergoing, it helps to alleviate that stress. And then, after all this, you might be slowly slipping into depression. So it's also going to help you with that. And it's going to boost the alertness when you're meeting more and more people. Now, besides that, they may influence blood composition, all right, by adjusting the content of blood oxygen and enhancing its utilization for metabolic purposes. And some studies suggest they improve erythrocyte deformability, helping red blood cells move more easily through vessels and separate more effectively to transport oxygen. Now, what does that mean in simple language? It means that the form of the blood cells, sometimes they can be in shapes where it's difficult to go through the blood vessels. Now, what happens is these negative ions, they're giving it a more rounded shape where it is easily going through and also easily collecting oxygen on the way to be supplied to the tissues in the body, right? It is also as an anti-inflammatory response. At the cellular level, negative ions may suppress the generation of reactive oxygen species and downregulate pro-inflammatory cytokines such as IL-1A and IL-6, providing an antioxidant effect. We only know oxygen is helping us, but there are some oxygen where they have this reactive oxygen species, right? So it downregulates that, brings down the inflammation, and it gives an antioxidant effect, all right? Okay. Now, the next thing is it's enhancing oxygen absorption. How? By releasing the electric charge into the blood, negative ions can improve the body's ability to absorb and utilize oxygen, effectively charging the blood and promoting healthier metabolic reactions. So there are so many things which should be happening in the body, but they're unable to work because of certain reasons. But what happens is now the negative ions are helping them by making them work even better. And it's alkalizing the blood, all right? As I said earlier, they changes the pH to a certain extent. They're not depending on it, but it has some effect because some research is suggesting that negative ions facilitate the release of calcium into the bloodstream, which helps maintain a slightly, okay, so don't depend too much upon it, but slightly alkaline pH. An alkaline environment is more efficient for cellular function compared to an acidic one, which can be oxygen depleted. So people are, when you use your body systems for various purposes, and then with less oxygen coming into your system, so your body slowly goes into an acidic state where it causes some problems for you. And with these negative ions, it slowly changes the pH a little bit. We don't want it to be too high because we've been taking some kind of alkaline solutions which pushes the pH to very high levels. You don't really have to go up to those levels. You just need a slightly pH environment where it is helping you with bringing you out of the acidic state. All right. Now, the anti-inflammatory effects, negative ions help neutralize free radicals in the blood, which reduces oxidative stress and lowers pro-inflammatory markers in the circulatory system. All right. Again, it reduces the free radicals in the body. Okay. All right. The next thing is the impact on the body systems. How does it impact the body systems? First of all, by attaching to positively charged airborne pollutants, this is outside the body. Negative ions cause these particles to clump together and settle, and this prevents them from entering your breathing passage, potentially reducing irritation for asthma and allergy sufferers. How beautiful is that to hear? Now, you see what's so beautiful about it is it works outside of your body and it also works inside your body. Right? So even before it can start affecting you, it's doing something to help you. Okay, the nervous system, what does it do to the nervous system? Negative ions can inhibit sympathetic nerve activity. They have what they call as the fight or flight response, while activating the parasympathetic nerve, promoting relaxation and better sleep quality. See, what happens is when you have stress, high stress, it stimulates your sympathetic nerve activity, and you're constantly in a state where it's a fight or flight response. So your body does not relax, and more hormones, negative hormones, for example, cortisol is coming out. You're always at the edge of the thing where you are like stressed out. But then now this brings you down, calms you down, and then you start sleeping better. All right. And with metabolism, they are linked to increased metabolism of carbohydrates and fats and the promotion of energy production within cells. So people also may see a reduction in their burning of more calories, bringing down their weight. Of course, it has to take some time. It's not like immediate, but it does something to that. All right. So the next thing is the summary of the key points. Okay. First of all, the respiratory system, it clears pollutants, improves cilia movement and oxygen uptake. And the nervous system balances serotonin, enhances the mood, focus, and sleep. And the circulatory system optimizes heart rate. It may normalize blood pressure and blood flow. And for the immune system, it stimulates the white blood cells to fight pathogens and infections. All right. So how beautiful is that? So now let's look at some precautions. If it gets wet, it rains, there's an auto cutoff mechanism to protect your ionizer pendant. That doesn't mean that you should be wearing it in the rain. Try to have it covered or protected from the rain. And then when dry, you can switch it on again and use it again. But please make sure it does not fall into water where it is engulfed by water and water gets into the device. And then it's as good as gone. All right? You're asking for trouble. So the sensitive system inside will be affected and it will not work. So if you send it back to the company, they know that you have dropped it in the water. All right? So it may not work again. So please be careful in that aspect. Okay? Now let's look at a little bit more about what this does. see how it works, all right? So if it's still lying there in the cupboard, please take it out now, all right? Okay. Now there are some tips for today for those people who want to have some more negative ions. There are many, many ways you can do, right? To bring in the negative ions. So of course, one of them is take your shoes off, your socks off, walk on bare ground. So that is definitely going to help you. So now I'm going to give you 4 tips here, 4 tips here, which is maybe a little bit different from what you have been doing. The first one is shower. Shower as many times as you want, especially if you are in Asia, you are showering in the morning, you're showering in the afternoon, and you're showering at night. Now, what it does is each time you shower, it is like a mini waterfall in your home. So the collision of water droplets on you creates a local concentration of negative ions. You're getting lots of negative ions. So even if, every chance you get, go for a shower and you're getting more negative ions. All right, the next one is keep specific house plants. There are certain plants like spider plants, snake plants, and chrysanthemums, which are highly effective at releasing negative ions during photosynthesis. So have one in your home, and they are going to give you more negative ions. And the other one is that practice alternate nostril breathing, and based on yogic principles, inhaling through the left nostril is believed to specifically enhance a negative ionic current in the body. So you're blocking this, breathing to the left, go for at least minimum 3 minutes. Maybe you want to go even for 10 minutes, and you're bringing in a lot of negative ions into the body. The last one is open your windows, let in fresh outdoor air, which is naturally richer in ions than stagnant indoor air. Just 20 minutes can completely refresh a room's ionic balance. All right. And this is especially for youngsters, teenagers who are, going out with the windows locked, coming back with the windows still locked. All right. By opening them, you're changing the environment. Okay. So now, thank you for today. I hope you've learned something. I hope this makes you want to wear the device again, and I hope it makes you want to wear it for the whole day. All right. So again, I'm Soma here. A special request, if you're asking me questions, please focus on the IonShield. All right. So any questions? Mr. Sam, would you like to pick up on the questions?
Yeah, thank you, Dato, for actually explaining our IonShield pendant, and then together with the tips the doctors have given, yeah, so much so-called as the added advantages of actually we can get negative ion from our daily lifestyle. So now I think we're going to having open short sessions, actually having the time to interact with Dato Soma. So anyone, you want to know more about IonShield, yeah? Like just Dato Soma has said, that concentrate on what we call it, the issue of IonShield. You want to know more, then you can just type the what we call it, your questions on the chat box there. Hopefully you the chat box. Yeah, Dato, you can have a look on the chat box probably.
Yes, first of all, again, Ditma from Germany, hello. May from the Philippines, hello again. Bindis from Iceland, hello. Nancy, I think Colombia, all right, hello to you. Victor from France, hello. Dolores from France, hello. Marianne from JB and Melbourne, yes. Nancy from Colombia. Said from Kuala Lumpur. Min, Hyun Min from Vietnam, Randy from Sweden, Healing 369, hello, Shima, hello, Healing 369 again, you're welcome, Andy, you're welcome, Melissa Wong, you're welcome, Yoli, yes, please wear the IonShield again. I guess Yoli has forgotten to wear them, and so now is a good time for her to wear, all right? And Nancy, you're welcome. Honor, you're welcome. Yunmin, welcome. Dolores, you want the tips again? Okay, what Mr. Sam will do is you'll get this edited for you, today's session, with his team, He has been doing a marvelous job doing that week in, week out, and putting it in the groups. So the whatever we are doing today is going to be on record. It will be recorded, and it has been recorded. It will be edited and be put in there for you to use again. All right. And later, Mr. Sam, if you think we should, but I think it's recorded, so it should be there. Juliet Zaragoza, welcome. Victor again, welcome. Okay, Michelle, can we have the PowerPoint? Okay, it's going to be recorded as a video, and you're going to get the whole thing, put it in here for you. And Ditma, you're welcome. Iviana Bellis from Slovenia, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Nancy, okay. So far we had not got a question. All greetings and thank yous. Maria from the Philippines, thank you. Netherlands, Yoli, yeah? Thank you. Shima KL. Algeria, Utilisato. All right. Alice from South Africa. You know, it's nice to hear everyone putting in from where they're coming from. And we're seeing that, you know, we're getting people from all over. Oh, and today is a good day. Beginning from the 31st of December, everybody is going to start wearing their IonShield pendants again. And then if you have the redemption points, you have the extra money, get one for your family, especially for your parents. It'll be a good present for them. Nelly from Kenya, Azam from Prive, Viva Prive, all right, and Jamila from Paris, Shay. Okay, now we have a question. Can you please share how you would share IonShield in a short encounter? The key points to highlight to catch their interest. You do any demo? All right, our biggest demo is the how the it removes smoke. All right, next week what I'll do is the next round when we talk about IonShield, I will include a video on how it removes smoke very fast. All right. So we have that. We didn't want to drag the time, but we will do that for you so that you can do the demo in future. Now, if people want to know about this IonShield, now you're mainly talking about the negative ions. Now, the first thing you're telling them is, you know, even if you have a minimum of 50,000 in negative ions per cubic centimeter, it is already helping you with health. But here, what it's doing is giving you 60 million in negative ions per cubic centimeter for each pulse. All right. So what it happens here is, first thing, it comes up, it comes above your nose, nostrils, and your mouth, your eyes. Okay, these are the areas where things come into your body. So it's protecting you, giving you good, clean air. All right, the pollen, the contaminants, the particulate matter, the allergens, all of them, the negative ions are giving them extra electrons. They become heavier, it falls, and now you're getting the clean air, which you normally will have to go to the beaches, the jungles, and the waterfalls to get this very air. So just using this device is giving you that. Now, the other thing is once it goes in, it's going through inside, going through your lungs, it's helping at the lung level, and then it's going into your bloodstream. And once it is going into your bloodstream, it does a lot of things. For example, it purifies your blood, is helping it to get more oxygen, helping the blood flow better. So this is what this IonShield does in a nutshell. And I think if you just tell them this, it's a good enough a reason for people to buy and use this. All right. So actually, I myself, I have bought one each for each of my family members. It's just that sometimes they forget to wear. All right. So hopefully my wife is listening as well. And I'm quite sure she's going to wear IonShield after this if she has forgotten to wear. And also I've been giving some family members who deserve it, all right? Because instead of giving money, charity, give them something which is worthwhile, which will help them, okay? Now, Rosemary from Winnipeg, Canada, you're welcome. And Denka, you're welcome. Denka is also, I think, Slovenia. Okay. Michelle, for testimonial in English. All right, you have to go to our YouTube iTerracare channel. Probably you can find some testimonials there. All right, and testimonials of long-term user of IonShield. Okay, so you have to go there and look for it there. And then Mary, can we wait to sleep? Can we buy the charger if we lost it? All right. The first thing is, yeah, yes, you can. No, no. Sleep, you see, the problem is when you wear on your chest, you're sitting or you're standing, it is working up. So when you sleep, then you have a problem. It's going sideways, and then you're not going to be sleeping in the same position throughout the night. And then it's going to slide left, it's going to slide right. So ideally, for sleeping, what you can do is you have to take it out, not place it on you, but place it on something where it is blowing towards you. That can be done. So which means that throughout the night, it is blowing to the area where you're going to breathe and it's bringing you negative ions. That you can do. Can we buy the charger if we lost it? I think you can try at our headquarters. They might have stock to supply you with the chargers. All right. And for the minimal charge. Okay. Rajesh Kumar. All right. From India. I'm glad that you like it. I'm from Malaysia, Mr. Rajesh Kumar. All right. Okay. Dolores. Okay. I'm in Malaysia. Oh, Dolores wants to know if Mr. Rajesh Kumar is from Chennai. Okay. You're welcome, Brindis. Joshua, you're welcome. Detma, do you know a good device to test the quality and quantity of the ions? I think they have got these negative ion testers and they don't cost too much. I've seen one which is rather small. I think probably for if Malaysian money is about 100 or 200, you can get one and it's going to definitely show you how much what the negative ions. Now we have used that for this bracelet. I think when I was talking about the bracelet, we had this device which was testing the amount of negative ions. So there are testers you can get. All right. Okay. And Bruno from I'm not so sure where you're from. Good morning. It's morning for you there. Rebecca from Kenya. Good day. Irena. Um, Oh, I'm glad that you like it. Huh? You're from Slovenia. Okay, our Mr. Sam and me, what we want to do is bring as much information as possible to our members so that it becomes useful. All right, because our devices, the devices in Prive, we got so many kinds of devices. They're just fantastic. They just don't buy ordinary devices. They buy devices which are a little bit different from what you get outside, and they really work for you. It's just that you need to know how to use it and also what it does to you. So once you know that, then it's going to be fantastic. You're going to be using it. All right. And the Ion Shield is one of those devices which is good for you to have besides the blowers and the BIOS. All right. And May, Happy New Year to you too. And hope lots of healing for everybody and recovery for everybody and more strength. Kamunto. Thank you. You like the information. And Shay, does IonShield have any filter that we need to change? Or how do we know if it is no longer emitting negative ions, even if the light is still on? Thank you again. Now, basically, what do you call it? There's no filter. Now, if you see at the edge of the device here, this is the device again. Now, if you see at the top, I'll bring it closer. You will see that at the top here, there is this, when I come too near, it goes off. This is the emitter. And this is like a brush here. So you have a small brush which they give you together in the packing for this device. So all you need to do is from time to time, you just brush on the top, removing whatever dirt is there, or whatever dust is being collected there. And that will do. Right? There are no special filters for you to replace. Okay. Now, as long as the light is on, it should be working, unless, of course, this part here is blocked. All right. So as long as you clean it, it should be working for you. So that when the light does not come on, it cannot be charged, then you need to be worried. All right. Okay. And Lee Yilan, yes, Happy New Year to you too. And Emma Fatalino, me and my husband always wear it every time we fly, even if we are surrounded by people coughing inside the plane. And we don't get the virus, thanks God. Right? IonShield is really working. There you go. Emma Fatalino is a living testimonial, long-term testimonial for those who want it. Okay, as how she has been using in flights and wearing it, right, with people coughing around them. They come back and they're still safe from all the coughing and the viruses. All right. So keep using. Don't forget to take it when you're traveling, especially when you're in a plane where it's an enclosed area. You have all kinds of people, all kinds of coughing, all kinds of viruses. So as we saw just now, any viruses which have been there, any viruses which are even yet to appear, this is going to help you. All right. So keep it with you. Nelly, does it assist people with irritable cough? What about congested chest? Now, basically, here you're talking about phlegm. The phlegm sometimes is because of bacteria. All right. So the body, it releases phlegm to fight against the bacteria. That's how you get the phlegm. So in this case, you might also want to add an antibiotic together with this so that it kills the bacteria fast. So it clears that congestion. All right. And May, I'm freaking out if I hear people coughing. I'm sniffing my IonShield straight to my nose. Look at that. May, you have a reason to do that. Or maybe you have to buy another one for your nose, one for your mouth. All right. Okay. Now, is there a lifetime warranty for this product? Now, basically, the company gives you a 1 year warranty. That's warranty, but it is expected to last about 10 years. All right. So, if within that 1 year anything is to go wrong, it should happen then. You send it to the company, they will get you repaired or replaced. But after that, they will still help you. Probably there'll be a small charge. But for most people who have it, they will tell you that it is still working for them because it is a very durable device. It is going to last a long time. Right, Rosemary? You're welcome. I think, Mr. Sam, we have come to the end of the questions and the postings. I think there's nothing more. Now, Yoli, you're asking about, can you explain a little bit about aerotoxic syndrome? It's something new I'm hearing now. All right. Basically, it's toxic air. That's what you're trying to say, I think. We don't know where it's coming from. Oh, Nelly, you're asking about can one wear inside the shirt? Definitely not. You see, when you wear it inside, it is blocking the passage of the air coming out. You need it to be outside so that it's coming out, it's blowing up. So the moment you cover it, you can't blow it out because it's now stuck inside. All right. So you're definitely not going to wear inside the shirt. Okay. All right. This is Denka from Slovenia. Yes. Greetings. Mr. Sam, greetings for you too. Yes. Is there a lifetime warranty for this product? Of course, we don't give a lifetime warranty. We give you a 1 year warranty, but it should last you for 10 years. All right. It's a term used for health problems that some pilots, cabin crew, and passengers report after breathing contaminated cabin air, usually from engine oil fumes. Now, if you look at this, it's basically helping you to avoid all these things. But fumes are totally different because they are stronger, they come in faster. Normally, there will be some, something must be leaking, so it's creating something more. So aerotoxic syndromes, especially when it comes to planes, normally they have things where it avoids this problem, but if you're getting it, something is wrong. All right. So I don't think it is designed for that. It can only help a certain amount, but not beyond that. But symptoms like headache, dizziness, fatigue, concentration problems, and nausea, I'm not so sure, but then the rest it should help you. That means on one side, you're getting these aerotoxic problems, but these negative ions are now working inside of you, trying to clear those problems. So it's just that how much is the input and how much is the output. If the input is bigger than the output, then you are running into problems. All right? Okay. So I think that's about it, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's all at this moment. I think I
yeah.
wanted to say thank you very much to Dato Dr. Soma for explaining so many about our iron shield. So actually, I think the last questions you can take from Dato or chat there.
Shay, yes. Now, if I tell you the elements which are inside the ion shield and how they work, then you're going to build your own factory, and Prive International and Mulingshan are going to go out of business. So definitely they're not going to tell you what is inside. So what I can tell you is they are going to emit negative ions, super good emit negative ions, and we shall use them.
The trade
All right,
secret,
thank you.
yeah.
Trade secret.
Okay. All right. So before we end these sessions, actually, I just put on the iCherake channel, our iCherake YouTube channel. That is the one that just now Dato mentioned that we after editing all the videos recorded, then we're going to post it there. So anyone, you can feel free to drop by there. We have a lot of videos for you to go through or for you who have missed and so on. And then from there, you learn more about our other products and so on. They go on. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us these sessions. Yeah, thank you for all your wishes. And also I'm taking the opportunity to wish everyone Happy New Year and have a blessed year and what they call it, a better year in advance. Most importantly, healthier. Yeah, stay healthy and then stay safe. So thank you everyone. And then once again, thank you to Dr. Soma. So we hope that we can see each other again in the next sessions on the what I call about our weekly sharing. So meanwhile, I say goodbye and sign off and good night. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sam.
Thank you.
Bye, Renka.